charge of making sure that doesn't fall off.
Okay. Do you have in charge of introducing the show?
It's not. I don't really call these shows so much as they're just guy on the road, and I talk to popular people in the Renaissance fair industry.
Okay. And you couldn't get any of those, so you got me?
Yeah. So thanks for filling in.
Yeah, got it.
I mean, I had somebody, but they had to drop
they had
out.
stuff to do.
They
Yeah.
had bank to go to and press and all that stuff. Hey guys, on the road video, and I decided to make it more, I don't know if ironic is the right word. Are you throwing gang signs to my people?
I'm saying peace.
Yeah, but by doing this,
If peace is a gang, call me a gang member, baby.
So we're literally on the road, as you can see. I'm in my rental car. We're leaving week 3 Sunday evening, going out to dinner.
My headphones were stuck to my zipper.
Is that, we're going to go with that? Okay, let's go with that. Looks like it's going to stay there, so we're lucky. Hey guys, I figured let's do an on-the-road video. I wanted to talk to my buddy Arne here, let you guys get to know him. And we go out to dinner together Sunday night. We meet some friends at a thing. And one of these days, maybe I'll record a little bit of that, but that's mostly private. And so I figured let's just do it as we're driving there. So we're driving there from the Bristol Fair. It was hot and humid and gross.
It was a sticky day.
A sticky day. Sticky day.
Brian and I are emitting a faint mist. You can't see it on the camera, even though it is very hot.
Hey guys, this is attempt 3.
We're doing it.
To record a video in the car, and for some reason the phone keeps deciding that I'm talking. I can't even say the name.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it.
I won't say it. Just a cut to the chase here. I'm here with Arne Parrott. We just finished week 3 of the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
We're sticky.
And we're sticky. And we're emitting
a fume.
A fume of some kind.
A fume, a sort of faint mist is shooting off of our skin in a way that some people might call supernatural.
Yeah, I think we're attracting, hopefully not attracting predators.
Yeah, but certainly some birds have begun to circle.
Yeah. Anyway, so we literally are taking the on-the-road video idea, and we're on the road. We're making it ironic. Is that the right word?
I don't think so.
On the nose.
Yeah, I mean we're just literally being on the road.
Okay. So Arne Parrott, met you a couple seasons back at this show through mutual friends, Phil Johnson.
Through Phil.
And some other folks. Did I just hit a bird?
What?
You were a bird. Literally just. Okay, never mind. I may have just killed a bird.
Brian, I can't be in here if you're killing animals.
Well, it wasn't intentional. That bird clearly had a suicide pact. So.
Well, what if we attracted it with our fumes?
The fumes attracted the birds.
And then you killed it. Oh my God, we're baiting. Now we're baiting them.
We're baiting them in. So I met you a couple years back. What do you do at the fair?
I do a lot.
I mean, seriously, what do you do at the fair?
Great question.
I mean, really, I'm not. Just I want to make sure that we. What the hell do you do there?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but so I've been doing this a long time. I will tell you, my contract says I do music shows.
Okay.
So I do 3 this season. I do 3 solo shows where I do my own sort of particular brand of sarcastic, blasphemous nerd music. And I play it to the masses to keep them sedated and opiated. And then I do 2 shows a day with another person. I do 1 show with a guy named Dan the Bard. He and I do like D&D music just to, really tap into the nerd culture thing. And then Adam Crack and I do a 2-man show where he throws knives at me. And then I'm the bassist in Newminster Review for 2 shows. So I do 7 shows a day here at the Bristol Fair.
You are like you're a utility player on baseball. Any position, whatever they need you to go, you'll go.
I can do it all, and I can do it not well enough to hold it my own, but I can do enough of it while.
So you're going to have to just hold it.
Uh-oh. Technical malfunction, but we're figuring it out now.
Hey guys, don't worry. I'm going to edit this together into something functional.
I don't know. We'll see.
Probably just hold it with one hand. It's only a phone. It doesn't weigh that much.
Okay, but I'm very feeble. I don't do a strongman act.
You can't move that lens, though, if you move the lens.
I know, I'm trying not to. How does it look?
It looks fine, but I think you can probably just hold it normally. You can even cover us up. Well, no, you can't put your thumb on it. Sorry, guys. We had a plan how to do this, but it was resting on the button that you hit to summons...
Can't say it.
That woman in my phone.
The phone woman.
the phone woman.
So yes, I have okay, I'm cutting right back to the interview.
Cut. Go.
Thank you. I have a lot of responsibility. It has to do like a million.
Well,
Thanks.
hang on. We're going to cut
Yeah.
responsibility.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to seem important to your viewers, Brian. They have to respect me, otherwise, what am I here? I'm literally holding your phone up. I look like a phone holding bitch. They have to respect me.
All right. We're still figuring this out. Okay. So, don't worry. There'll be like funny little graphics that'll say another tech glitch, another tech glitch, another. But now we finally figured it out. We finally have the phone in a thing because Arnie really wanted to have the whole back jacket of a novel shot with his hand up there.
My head is so heavy on account of my brain being large.
Yeah. So you are a utility player.
Yeah, I do everything. A little
musician.
bit everything. Yeah.
Now, what do you do in the world outside? But okay, but enough about that. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
But well, I'll tell you a little more. Now, you do a solo show, and I've seen it a couple times, and it's very funny.
Oh,
You're
thank
very
you.
good with audiences. Your music is funny. You're talented. You play the guitar very, very well.
Thank you. Wow.
You play it with those little picky fingers.
I do. I have finger picks because I never learned to use regular picks because I just didn't. I know I'm weird.
That's not weird. I think it's pretty advanced. It's a very what's his name? Lindsey Buckingham of you.
Sure.
Isn't he a finger pick guy?
Yeah, probably.
Guitarist from is it Tool?
Yes, Lindsey Buckingham was in Tool.
He's in Tool.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's in Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac.
By the way, we've been dealing with all of our little glitches. I may have missed our turn. Are we okay? I think I'm. We
Yeah,
appear to
you're
be
good.
okay.
Just keep. I mean, there's got to be tacos somewhere, right? We'll find them.
So at the fair, you do a show. Your show is very, very good. Very,
Thank
very
you.
funny.
That's amazing.
You should have a bigger audience.
Mhm.
Maybe this will give you what I like to call the Brian Bump.
The Brian Bump.
The Brian Bump.
I heard that described as a very different thing.
Well, often
Oh,
you
that's
get
Brian Bumps.
Brian Bump. There, it's you get the Brian Bump when either being on a video that I'm producing for my Patreon or when you're sitting on my lap.
Yes.
Either way, you're going to
That's
get
the
a
old
bump.
Brian Bump.
That's the old Brian
A
Bump.
quick jaunt up Mount Howard, if you will.
Yeah, but there's nothing quick about the jaunt up Mount Howard. Many have died, and it's so high elevation they have to leave the body there.
Yeah, they
And,
can't go get it.
You see green boots. He's right near my forehead.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so you're a musician. You're a funny guy.
Yeah.
You obviously you're quick on your feet. You and I drive to this Sunday evening thing.
Yeah,
we
and
did it a bunch last season.
Mhm.
We've already. This is the third time we've
Third
done
time.
it this week?
No, you didn't get.
In the
Oh, you
first
did
week.
give me a ride last week. Actually,
I did last
you were
week,
maybe
definitely.
gonna bail, but you
Should
didn't.
I be turning around this guy?
I think you go right on the right side.
I
here.
know, but is
you
it
can
okay
use
to-
your signal though. I think maybe that would be a pretty good
Oh.
use of the turn signal.
I
Well,
don't know
now it's
why.
a little late. We're already turning, aren't we, Brian?
We're already turning. I'm safe. Honey, don't listen to him. I did this perfectly safe.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Yeah, so when I'm not doing a Renaissance Fair, I have a lot of other assorted duties. I'm not one guy who does one thing very well. I no longer am, due to the pandemic, closing a lot of theaters in Chicago. I worked at a lot of, I worked at IO, which is an improv theater. I worked at the Annoyance.
Improv Olympic.
Right, but it's not called that anymore because they got sued by the Olympic Committee.
I did not know that.
They did. Because the Olympic Committee is apparently very litigious and they don't like anything being called an Olympic, much less comedy.
Wow.
So it had to be called IO.
Am I going to have to bleep out what I just said?
No, because I mean it's closed. I mean it went bankrupt.
No, but I said Olympic in this video.
Right, but you're not making any money, Brian. So yeah, so I
a little
worked
bit
at
of money.
I worked at IO. I worked at the Second City. I worked at all those places, and I still do fill in at those places if I need to. But
What do you do there? What do you do there?
I have my title is music director. So what it is if a show needs music, they come to me. And so sometimes that's playing it live. Sometimes that's coming up with the cues for it. You know, like having to come up with they need something specific. Sometimes it's writing music for them. It's a very sometimes it's just making sound cues. It's a very varied job, and you kind of have to be good at a lot of things to do it. And it's difficult, but it's very rewarding.
And the pandemic, unfortunately, put the kibosh on that.
Well, it closed a lot of the theaters, and then when they reopened, they were kind of redoing the way the music director contracts worked. And I won't get into no one wants to hear about any of that, but it was a lot less friendly to someone like me who
Barely
wanted
want to hear this.
I
quite
know,
frankly.
right? Exactly. It was a lot less friendly to someone like me who also wanted to do Renaissance festivals and performing outside. The contracts they came up with returning to were a lot more binding and much more like, you know, they were just more involved.
To cut to the chase, you are an artist.
Thank you.
So far, you make your living as an artist.
Yes, I also write music. That's my main thing now. Is I write for a lot of podcasts and shows. Like I write for a show called Hey Riddle Riddle. I write for a show called Hello from the Magic Tavern. I write for all these, there's a million comedy podcasts, and I write for a lot.
And they need a little music piece. They go, you know what?
We're gonna call that guy.
That guy, and when he doesn't pick up, goes to you.
Then it calls me. Yep.
Goes to you. So you're the second
most popular podcast theme writer in Chicago.
You are. Okay, that's really narrowing it down. I'm just joking, of course. Now you just started being on the road a little more.
A little more, yeah.
How's it going?
There's things I love.
You hate it? The other acts are a bunch of dicks.
Sometimes
That Brune guy?
That Brune guy makes me hold his phone. Like a little phone-holding bitch.
That Brune guy couldn't figure out why we kept queuing up the name of which I can't say.
Yes, but we did figure it out. The
two dumb guys.
The two dumbest guys who work at the Bristol Renaissance Fair, and you can quote us on that.
So seriously, you're on the road. You're doing the Florida Renaissance Fair.
I'm doing the Florida Renaissance Fair.
You're doing Bristol. You're doing Ohio.
I do Ohio.
Is that it?
Those are the three I do. Sometimes I'll jump into like a one weekend Florida fair, come do something like that. Like I had one weekend of Oklahoma to fill in for somebody.
What was that like?
It was actually kind of fun. I mean, I've never been to the Oklahoma fair, and it was really beautiful. It's just.
Did the corn reach as high as an elephant's eye?
No. There weren't even really any references to the musical, and I'm starting to think that maybe it was in a different place.
Was it really in Oklahoma?
I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't anything like that. No one sang at all.
Rodgers and Hammerstein never set foot in Oklahoma, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't know anything. They certainly didn't go to the fair, that's for sure. But yeah, so there was I had a great time there, but I like the road. There's challenges to it, and I'm curious about you because I live in.
I don't take questions.
Okay, well, then how about do you dole out advice?
Sure.
I am centrally located.
But only if it's phrased as a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is going to be challenging. I'm located in the center of the United States. I'm in Chicago. And so
Illinois.
I travel to Florida, and it is a few hours. You have to come from the beautiful city of Los Angeles.
Yes.
You are crossing 4 time zones on a 5-hour flight.
Yeah, well, 3, but okay.
3-hour flight.
No, 3 time zones.
3 time. Okay, yes, but there are 4 total time zones.
Of course, but I'm already in one of them.
Sure. So you are leaving one. At some point,
we don't need to argue about this math.
There are time zones that happen.
Yes.
And then, how much when you're doing the Florida Fair? How much does that flight mess up your week?
So this is your question.
My question, because
I don't mind. I was joking.
I'm curious about. Some part of me is like, maybe I should try moving to Los Angeles, but I'm terrified about the idea of continuing to do the things I do while now being located much farther away from them.
Well, you know what? You're a single guy.
I am.
I'm the man in the mirror, as Michael Jackson's talking about. I'm a man with a wife and a kid. So whatever I would answer to that would be less than because you are a single dude. You're younger than me. You're single. You're handsome. You've got that beard.
Your beard looks better than mine. I screwed mine up this week.
Well, okay. I got no answer to that.
It's a compliment.
You live with it, and you just get used to it. But I don't think it's going to affect you so much because if you decide to commute, first of all, you wouldn't commute unless you had gigs and prospects.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you're in LA and suddenly you hook up with the people at Second City LA, or you hook up with the people at the Improv or Groundlings, or IO's not there anymore, but any of the other theaters out there that do the kind of stuff that you work for here in Chicago, which they're out there. And if you have a regular gig, you're going to want to rush back to be a part of that and make money in both locations.
Yeah.
It eats into your profits. Yeah, keep that in mind. But I feel like I'm just yammering on here. But if you decide to move out there, by all means, do it and enjoy the idea if you want to commute. But you might want to live on the road.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's helpful, Brian. I notice you've taken your hands completely off the wheel.
We have stopped moving.
Oh.
We are now in the parking lot of the restaurant.
My God.
We are literally across the street of the backstage area of Six Flags.
I can see a coaster.
We can see a coaster.
I can see a coaster or yawn.
Over there, there's a tiny little glass on a little thing that says Coors Light on it, and he can see it. So
very funny.
Thank you. Well, have been known to be funny. So you came in late, a lot of technical glitches, but I'm sure I edited
did our
this down to
best.
something brilliant.
Oh my God.
Arne Parrott, if you come to the Renaissance
And this
Fair,
is Brian Howard.
they know who I am. What are you listed as in the program?
My name is Arne Parrott, and the program lists me as Arne Parrott.
See, now that's a mistake that I may have made.
Yeah, coming up with Brune,
Yeah.
right? Because you're trying to fuse the two brands, right? Because it's not songs with Brune, beer and songs with Brune.
It's not. Beer and Songs with Brian.
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally on stage, I'll say my real name, and of course I promote myself, and I'll say go by facebook.com/Brian Livestream. Find me on Patreon under Brian Howard, and the audience figures out that that's who Brune is.
Yeah, for me, Arne Parrott sounds like a stage name. So no
does.
matter how much I list it, everyone thinks I have a real name.
When I first met you, I thought it was a fake name. I thought
thinks
no
it
one's name can be Parrott.
Everyone thinks it's a fake name.
No one's name is Parrott.
But someone's is, and it's mine's.
And your whole family.
Was
it an Ellis Island thing where when they got here it was Parodondiski and somebody just said, you're Parrott?
No, it's authentically. So my dad's name is John Parrott.
John Parrott.
John Parrott.
John Parrott's character, again, from Treasure Island.
And he is literally a member of Queen Elizabeth's court. Sir John Parrott. It's a British surname, so if anything, I'm the most accurate of all of us. Arne is Norwegian. I believe it means king.
Every male name means king.
No, okay, it doesn't actually. It means eagle, but I didn't want to be Eagle Parrot. What's going on with that, right? We got a reoccurring bird theme.
We do. Guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. Thanks for putting up the technical stuff. Check out Arne Parrott on the road at the Florida Renaissance Fair, the Bristol Renaissance Fair, the Ohio Renaissance Fair, possibly Oklahoma. That could have been Kansas.
One whole weekend in maybe Oklahoma.
It might have been West Texas. He doesn't really know.
Never learned the difference.
Never learned the difference. And I'm not sure if there even is a difference.
And this is Brian Howard. You can find him at... I didn't do this research.
They know where I am. Here on Patreon. You're talking to the Patrons. They know exactly where I am.
Hello, Patreons. Keep up the good work.
Maybe you should get a Patreon at some point.
I can't. I'm too dumb.
Wow. You're looking at some guy that did it, and I'm pretty stupid. So thank you all so very much. And this is Arne, and I'll see you later on down the road.
I'm pushing the party!